Afternoon, third grade. It is time for Wednesday Social Studies. Today, in Lesson 5, we are in the Reading Further section on page 90. Okay, so on Monday, we talked about how our community shares different traditions. Today, we're just going to be reading a little further. So, let's get started. Many people, many ways of life. Our land has been home to diverse cultures for thousands of years. Once many groups of American Indians lived here. Each group had its own way of life. What were these cultures like, and how did they differ from each other? Hello. Welcome to the Time Travel Express. This is a very special train. It travels through time as well as space. Ooh. Today the train will take us to the past to meet three groups of American Indians. We will see how they lived before large numbers of new settlers came to their lands. Our first stop is the year 1600 in what is now the state of New Jersey. There we will meet a group called the Lenapes. All aboard! The Lenapes. The Time Travel Express is taking us along the Delaware River. Later, this area will become part of the Northeast region of the United States. In 1600, it is home to the Lenape people. We stop by a village near the river. Do you see the large house with curved roofs? They are all called longhouses. Several families can share one longhouse. These are what the longhouses look like, guys. If you didn't see the picture, it's really long and they're kind of just sleeping in there, sitting up. The smaller round houses are called wigwams. The Lenapes fish in the river. They get many of other things they need in the forest nearby. They use wood and bark from trees to build their houses. They also hunt deer and beavers. They use the skin from the animals to make clothes. There are also gardens in the village for growing crops. There, the Lenape women grow food such as corn, beans, and squash. Many American Indians in this region grow these three crops. The crops are known as the Three Sisters. We have a worksheet in your Wednesday folder. As we read each section, we should probably just fill out the section and then keep going so our memory is fresh. It says fill in the table below. First, write the place or region where each group lived. In the other boxes, give at least one example for each category. 3 of the boxes are already filled in for you. So it's 3 in different sections that are filled in. Let's write our name on the top. This sheet should be found in your Wednesday folders, guys. So since we read about the Lenapes already, we're going to fill in that place. So the place or region where they lived was the Northeast region. So we're going to write Northeast. Northeast region. Alright, food we know was corn, beans, and squash. Clothing was deer and beaver skin. They used deer and beaver skin to make clothes. Shelter just means where they lived. So remember, they lived in those long houses and they had smaller houses called wigwams. So long houses, and smaller houses called wigwams. Okay, guys, we're going over to the next section. We're going to be talking about the Chumash. We'll come back to our sheet and fill it in as we go. The Chumash. Next, the Time Travel Express takes us to the Pacific Coast. In the year 1750, one day, this place will be part of California. The city of Santa Barbara will grow up nearby. We stop near a village that looks out on the Pacific Ocean. The village was built by the Chumash. Many Chumash lived along the Pacific coast or nearby islands. About 500 people live in this village. The village has many dome-shaped houses. The Chumash cut branches from willow trees to make frames for their houses. Then they cover the frames with mats made from reeds, a type of plant. Look out to sea. The men are out there in long, narrow boats called canoes. They are using long, sharp spears to hunt for seal, tuna, and whales. On land, the men hunt deer and other animals, while the women also help to gather food. They look for berries, wild plants, and acorns. The Chumash eat acorn soup or acorn cakes every day. In Chumash groups, women can become leaders. A woman is the chief of the village. The chief tries to keep everyone safe and tries to make sure that no one goes hungry. The Chumash wear little clothing because the climate in this region is so mild. Sometimes men wear just a belt to carry tools. The women wear skirts made of deer skin or woven from plants. As we leave the village, watch for a cave nearby. Inside, colorful pictures cover the walls and ceilings. Religious leaders probably draw these pictures. It is their way of asking the gods to help the Chumash live a good life. Alright, back to our sheet, guys. So, the place or region where the Chumash lived was the Pacific Coast. Pacific Coast. P-A-S-I-F-I-C Coast. They had a lot of different foods, so we can start listing. They had, you guys remember some? Let me wait a couple seconds, let you guys start filling them in, and then I'll come right behind you. They said seals, tuna, whales. Then they hunted deer. Other animals. The women had bears. They picked berries, wild plants, and acorns. I know that was a lot to write, but you guys write it. You can refer back to your books as well. The shelter. For the Chumash, they lived in dome-shaped houses. You guys know the dome-shaped houses were made from tree branches. The frame of those dome-shaped houses were made from the tree branches, and they covered the frames with the mats from a plant called a reed. Let's read about the Comanches. Our last stop is, oops, sorry guys, at the top. Our last stop is in the year 1775. We are hundreds of miles to the east of the Pacific Ocean. Grassy plains stretch as far as we can see. One day, this place will be part of Texas. Right now, it is home to many groups of the Comanches. Over there, some women are setting up teepees. Teepees are a kind of tent. They are easy to set up and take down. This is important to the Comanches because they're always moving from one place to another. That's kind of weird. Let's figure out why. Why are the Comanches always moving? They move because they must follow bison herds. A bison is an animal. The Comanches have built their own way of life around the bison. Bison meat gives them food, and the women make clothes and blankets from the skin. Even the teepees are made from bison skin. The Comanches get other useful things from the bison too. They make tools such as sewing needles from the bison bones. They use the horns to make bowls and cups. They even use the bison's stomach as a strong water bag. Can you imagine using a stomach as a water bag? Ew. The men and the boys hunt the bison with the bow and arrows. They make most of the bows out of the wood, but sometimes they make bows from bison horns. The Comanches used to hunt on foot, but then people from Europe brought horses to North America. The Comanches quickly became very skilled horseback riders. With horses, they can travel much farther to hunt bison. They also ride horses in battles against their enemies. Our train is rolling again. We are returning to our starting place in our own time. I hope you guys have enjoyed the trip into the past. So that was very interesting about the Comanches. And these are bisons, guys. This is what they're hunting. That's the herd of them. Herd just means when it's like a pack. Okay, guys. So, Comanches. Where did the Comanches live? We can write Texas. The Comanches lived in Texas. What is now as we know Texas. The food, they ate bison meat. Bison was like everything to them. Bison meat. Their clothing, they made clothes out of bison skin. Oops. Bison skin. And then their shelter, they live in teepees. Teepees are like little tents. They lived in those teepees so that they can move them easily because they lived wherever they found bison herds. So I really enjoyed doing social studies with you guys. I pray that you have a great rest of the day. Work hard, and I will see you guys tomorrow.